What's going on, everybody? It's Dre from Dre in the Kitchen. So, where are we? Of course, the heart of my home is my kitchen. So there were a couple of things that I wanted to share with you because I've been receiving a lot of questions, a lot of why I do what I do, a lot of what are the tools that I have, where do the concepts come from, where do you get up with these interesting ideas, some of the things that I do on day to day. And I'm going to show you this is just a couple of minutes of what I do with my process. Perfect example, there's always the fermented grape. This is Justin's Cabernet Sauvignon from my favorite place in Paso in California. In fact, let's pour ourselves a glass while we talk. Of course, I've had these wine glasses for a very long time. The story behind those is it took me going to 6 different home goods on the west coast of California. Oh, it's almost empty. And I found them, and then I would ship them home because I used to be, my prior job involved a lot of travel on the west coast of the US. So that was that. Then there's my trusty little notebooks. I've got tabs, little stickers there, and then my YouTube video ideas. Sometimes I have recipes on the side. I keep this close by to my bed. If I go on a plane, I take a notebook with me. I don't have a MacBook Pro, it actually died on me, so eventually I'll get one. But this is how it starts. Another example is I'll go to a grocery store, I'll go somewhere, and then I just get an idea for a dish. Perfect, what I'm doing today. We're gonna record meatballs. So I have frozen meat in my freezer, which I'll have to show you one day, because there's a refrigerator here. I have another refrigerator in my garage, plus a side freezer. Because why? We're always cooking. So I'm gonna do my meatballs today. And the way I do them is in the keto style, because I don't put breadcrumbs in them. I don't use bread. I don't use a lot of different things that I used to use. And it's just it came about when I wanted meatballs, but I didn't want the pasta. So I bought some Cento tomatoes. I was looking for San Marzano, which is usually what I use, but couldn't find them today. I'll have to go back to Restaurant Depot soon and do a big shopping there. But it starts with that. I'll see an ingredient. So this is American Wagyu. I'm not gonna buy the actual regular Wagyu because we're talking about in the very, very high price points, very expensive. I couldn't find a block of Pecorino Romano. Normally, I will never, ever, ever, ever buy pre-grated cheeses because there's always additives in it. This one is actually not too bad, but it does have powdered cellulose because it's the anti-caking. So if you were gonna do cacio e pepe or some sort of sauce, this might change the consistency a little bit because of the additives, but for what we're gonna do with the meatballs, it's perfectly fine. But just know that you can start out with an idea. I always have a pen and paper. I'm just the old school person who has to have a physical notebook. I need to have a pen, I need to have that sensation. I do have an app on my iPad Pro, and I do write on it, but there's nothing like tactical sensation. I'm in my 40s, people. So this is how I learned. So this is what we do. Right now, I have to record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 videos in probably the next 10 days because I'm behind on my recordings. I hit a little bit of a lull, and it happens, Back in 2020 when things were hit with COVID, which is how we created Dre in the Kitchen, Karen and I on sleepless nights and conversations. For those of you who don't know Karen is my media manager. She pretty much created this brand, the logo, she did all the things. So fast forward, we have 35, 36 videos, and I was up to doing 2 videos a week, but life gets in the way. Life happens. Craziness occurs, but now things are finally stabilizing. They're getting steady again. Things are starting to fall in line the way they were supposed to all along. So everybody has those journeys where you have your ebbs and flows. You have your ups, you have your downs, you have your ups, you have your downs. But when you get into that rhythm, that all of a sudden you become inspired again, you want to cook again. I literally grew up in the era when Food Network was just that. It was the Food Network. It wasn't the Game Network. It wasn't, creating a kitchen outside of a supermarket type of thing. It's like I remember watching Emeril Lagasse. I remember watching Everyday Italian with Giada De Laurentiis. Ina Garden. Like, these are the people. I lived on Rachel Ray's 30-minute meals. So those are the ones that, but I grew up watching The French Chef with Julia Child, and I don't know whatever happened to him, but I heard it wasn't good, but The Frugal Gourmet, who was on PBS at the time. Those were the people that inspired me to cook. So when I turned 30, I was like, I want something different in my life. I left corporate America and I went to culinary school in California. And it was the best experience of my life. However, a lot of my life fell apart at that point. It happens. I lost friendships. I gained friendships. I was redirected in life. So I don't regret anything. Well, maybe I do sometimes. But those who know me know what it is that I miss the most. But everything was a lesson to be learned. And that's what I guess the bulk of what I'm trying to say is, it's okay if things fall apart. You just can't live in that moment of, woe is me. You have to literally lift yourself up. You guys might hear my dogs in the background. It's a miracle they're being quiet. But I love it. There is nothing more exciting to me than receiving feedback from some of my clients or from some people who I've cooked for, and they go, what did you put in that dish? And I think over the past 2 years that we've had, I want to say the age of COVID, because I think COVID is going to stick around for a long time. Our bodies will adapt a little bit. And this is my personal views. Don't judge me on that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just saying, because of COVID, we created Dre in the Kitchen, and I became inspired to use the talents that I learned from my grandmother, from my mother, from my aunts, from my sisters. You know, all these different things, from my dad even, that I can bring to you. And I share it from a beautiful place in my heart. So when I cook for you, that is my expression of love. When you're a guest in our home, I cook all the time. And that is how I express the beautiful emotions and things that I feel and I've experienced throughout life. You know, when I make Puerto Rican food, it's my grandmother. Like, I literally feel her spirit in me, and my hands are moving, and she's telling me, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, add this. I literally hear her voice. No, it's not those voices. I have those too. But her voice literally tells me, okay, do this, don't do this, don't do that. Then when I go into the French side of cooking, then it becomes, I hear a couple of my chef instructors go, are you sure you want to add that? Are you sure? Did you taste this? So there's always a cup, there's always spoons in there, we're always tasting. I've now have Ivan tasting food, and I'll purposefully ask him, what's missing? He is the pickiest eater ever on God's good earth. If you're pickier, bless your heart. We go to steakhouses, and he asks for well done. I'm like, I lower my head in shame. That's what he likes, so I don't knock it. I prefer medium rare. He's like, you're a vampire, so bring on the blood. I like the meat pink, or really, depending on the cut, could be medium rare. I don't do anything under medium rare unless we're having tartare, but I digress. But this is the creative process. This is how it all happens. It happens through conversations. It happens through, I think I saw something on TikTok where I wrote it down because I want to recreate it. And like, people are just, there's inspiration everywhere. It doesn't matter where you look. It is everywhere. And I want you to know that if you want to cook, if you want to sing, if you want to dance, if you want to write, whatever it is that you want to do, know that you're not alone. There are other people out there. There is enough space for all of us to be successful. And I've always been trying to figure out, where do I fit into this? Because it's I'm going to call it the multiverse. Can you tell I like the MCU? We all fit in. There's space for all of us to be successful. So I encourage people, you know, everyone who's successful, I'm obsessed with the Preppy Kitchen. John Cannell, I don't do desserts often, but when I do, he is my go-to. Of course, so are my French cookbooks. And it's just live life, enjoy, be creative. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Julia Child used to drop chickens on the floor. What's the big deal? And of course, if you love the fermented grape like I do. No, Justin is not sponsoring this video yet. Hint, hint. Go out and do what you love, and you'll, like they used to say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. I kind of believe that, but this is like, if you can see, I don't know if you can see my knives, but I'll bring the knife. Like, I'm gonna do a review of all the kitchen tools that I have, the ring lights here, the setup that we have. Just follow your dreams, y'all. Make your dreams a reality. And if people tell you that you're crazy, then so be it. Bring it on. So go find your passion, do what you love, unapologetically. Be authentically you in the process, because that's what's gonna resonate with a lot of people. You know, getting monetized on YouTube, I said, great, we got there. Okay, cool. Now how do we grow this? So your feedback, your love, your support. Don't worry, this is just a prototype of an apron. I know I've shown it months and months ago. I still haven't figured out what it is that I want to put on the apron, if it's too big, if it's too small. We have a couple things that are going to be in the works. I just ordered some supplies, and let's rock it on. So this is Dre in the Kitchen. This is our home. This is where I do most of my cooking, most of everything. And usually inspiration strikes when you least expect it. So as Julia Child used to say, bon appetit. As the other guru, I adore him, Jacques Pepin, happy cooking. Create memories is what I tell everyone. Create your beautiful memories, whether it's in your kitchen, whether it's at your dining room table, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends or clients. I see Halle Berry creeping into the kitchen because I haven't yelled at her yet. Because she's always in the kitchen, y'all, always. So I love y'all. Thank you for the love and support. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. This was just a little couple of minutes. I wanted to just, it's a day in the life of being in the kitchen and what it is that I do, where it all starts, how it begins. It's a beautiful process. It's a little frustrating at the same time, but you gotta work out because the pounds, y'all, they come. Shh, I'm not judging. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm about to do the batch filming, which means, like I said, within the next 10 days, we have to record 12 videos, edit them, get them prepared for all of you. From the simplest things of pickling vegetables. I make my own pickles. Stay tuned for that video. We're about to record that one today as well. So just know I appreciate, I love, and I will see you guys very, very soon on Dre in the Kitchen. Bye for now.